Hello, race morning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Welcome to one of the greatest honors of my life, and it's an honor courtesy of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Now we're here on race morning at, there's the teams preparing right over here. But we're actually, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum's team is preparing several Indy 500 winning cars to do parade laps before the start of the race. The museum tells me it's part of their commitment to be more than a static museum. They want to become a living museum. And part of the life of automobile racing is the fact that the cars actually run. And that's something that's going to be extremely exciting to explore today because we've got, as you can see behind me, just some fantastic racing machines. I cannot wait to show you more. Is this really happening right now?
Any last words?
This is a good way to go. You are insane. I've never even sat in a winner before. Much less a steeper one. Oh my God. So here we are actually inside of turn one, essentially on the warm-up lane, or the old warm-up, or the new warm-up lane. I'm all confused because of all these beautiful cars. So I'm actually going to walk down and we're going to take a look at each of these cars. So the first car is actually, believe it or not, the 1971 Dodge Pace car, which actually crashed into a photographer's stand down there at the end of pit lane. This was actually restored by the driver of it and eventually sold into a private collection. The second car we've got is Al Unser Sr.'s 1978 winner. This was his third Indianapolis 500 win. This will actually be driven this morning by Al Unser Jr., a beautiful car. This is a Lola powered by a Cosworth. Then you've got the 1970 winner, again Al Unser. This is a PJ Colt. It actually began life as a four-wheel drive Lola. Actually, Parnelli Jones went through a bunch of modifications to this to turn it into a two-wheel drive car when they banned the four-wheel drive. Famously, of course, sponsored by Johnny Lightning. We've got the 1990 Lola. This is powered by a Chevrolet Ilmore. This is the Ari Lyondike Domino's Pizza Hot One, as they called it. Beautiful race car. Certainly, this is the era that I fell in love with, for sure. And this will actually be driven by Ari. This is the 1961 Roadster. This is A.J. Foyt's very first winner, 1961. Of course, this is an anniversary this year. J.R. Hildebrand is driving a car that's painted similarly in the big race here in a second. This is actually this is a car that you may have seen on YouTube already. It was driven by Tony Stewart for some hot laps at one point. I think A.J. actually drove it at one point around 1999. Turned a pretty quick lap. So this is the car you've just seen me in. This was the greatest moment of my life. This is the 1941 winner, Maury Rose. Maury Rose is a driver that my grandfather was very highly envious of. He was he was a fan of his, I should say. And the fact that the museum allowed me to just sit in that seat and even steer it while it was being towed is just an incredible, one of the greatest honors of my whole life. So here's the 1930, I believe 39. Or no, sorry, this is the. I can't remember exactly which years this ran, but this was the Maserati, which actually won in 2 consecutive years with Wilbur Shaw at the wheel. This is one of the most beautiful cars ever ran the Speedway, and actually Doug Bowles is going to drive this one this morning. Just a lovely car. They've really been working hard on this one. It's amazing the effort the museum is going through to get these cars running, and that one in particular, of course, because it's an older car, it's being kind of grumpy. So Bobby Unser, obviously we love Bobby Unser here. One of the great champions of the Indianapolis 500, 3-time winner, obviously just died recently. So we have a couple of Bobby Unser examples. We've got the 1981, obviously this was a very controversial Penske chassis, Cosworth engine car, but obviously this is a beautiful car. I actually remember when Bobby took this around the track during the SVRA, probably just about 4 or 5 years ago, and again, really hot lapped it. And the final car is the 1968 Eagle. I believe this is powered by a turbo Offenhauser. This is the Rislone car, which you may remember from the movie Winning, starring Paul Newman. It's just, this is such a beautiful car. The cigar shape, kind of F1 style, just could not be more beautiful. That's the first win of Uncle Bobby. So these are all, and actually it's going to be driven, by the way, by Mario Andretti, believe it or not. So we're adding to the list of famous people who have driven that car. So that's the report here. Can't wait to see these things run. This is, you probably can hear the excitement in my voice. This is pretty damn cool. So this was one of the most incredible experiences of my entire life. The cars are now in. The crowd is here. It's unbelievable. I can't believe this is only 130,000 people. I can't even imagine what this is like with 300,000 people. The star power that was down here, you saw them. Al Unser Sr., Mario Andretti, Johnny Rutherford, Donald Davidson, the longtime track historian. And it's all, this is the magic of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Again, these are living, breathing race cars. I can't state it enough. And the fact that you had many of the drivers who have driven these cars, even if it wasn't their car or at least raced against them, driving these, just a real special treat. And I hope I was able to bring you guys behind the scenes of this to experience this, hopefully maybe at least 20% of what I was able to experience today. What an amazing experience. And now, well, this is in the past, so we're going to find out what happens in the greatest spectacle in racing. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube. I'm speechless, man. We'll see you in the next video.